Good morning. This is NewsDive. It's Thursday, the 14th of August, 2025, and the time is 10:26 a.m. in Colombo. I'm bringing you the daily news digest for Sri Lanka with the latest headlines from across politics, law and order, the economy, society, and more. Politics and governance. Priyantha Weerasoria, an attorney at law, has officially assumed duties as the 37th Inspector General of Police following approval by the Constitutional Council. He is the first officer in the service's history to rise from police constable to IGP. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake chaired pre-budget preparatory meetings this week, focusing on transport, highways, ports, and civil aviation in one session and agriculture and livestock in another, as ministers set priorities for the 2026 budget, with an emphasis on transport projects and efficiency. In Parliament, the opposition is preparing several no-confidence motions, including a joint motion targeting a deputy defense minister, as legislative activity continues around accountability probes. The UN Human Rights Office and OHCHR have urged Sri Lanka to seize the opportunity to break from entrenched practices. Government officials say rhetoric is shifting but stress that action must follow the words. Law, crime, and justice. Several arrests and probes have advanced. Acting Director of the Police Cultural Division, SSP Sathish Gamaj, was arrested in a bribery investigation by CIABOC. A former acting deputy director of NIMH and a former deputy director of Prison Health Services have been remanded in separate bribery cases. A suspect has been detained for questioning in the shooting of former Homagama councillor Shantha Madunkotuwa, with a 5-day detention granted. There was national outrage after an elderly man in Paradania was beaten to death reportedly over a stolen chocolate. Police seized a large cannabis shipment in Peliyagoda, valued at around 40 million rupees, and arrested an associate of a known organized crime figure connected to ICE and Army uniforms. Separately, an investigation has been launched after incorrect data was provided to the Prime Minister regarding the Supreme SAT project. Scrutiny continues of officials who supplied the figures. Economy and business. Market trading on the Colombo Stock Exchange was mixed with pockets of strength, and foreign holdings in rupee treasuries recently crossed the 100 billion rupee mark. The central bank is phasing out some government security holdings as private credit expands, according to governor statements. Corporate results were strong in the first half. HNB Group reported approximately 42% growth in profit after tax. Ambion Group posted a robust quarter, and First Capital logged a strong Q1 PAT of 2.15 billion rupees. Vietnam's ROX Group and other foreign investors are continuing to show interest in industrial projects here. Cabinet approvals include policy moves on GIS rubber mapping for EUDR compliance, a green hydrogen push, progress on a microfinance and loan regulation act, and permission for cannabis cultivation under strict export-only rules in designated zones. Tourism remains resilient, with earnings topping $2 billion in the first 7 months of the year, and July remittances reached a record $697.3 million United States dollars. Major upcoming events include Facets 2026, the Gem and Jewelry Expo set for the 3rd to the 5th of January at Cinnamon Life, and Invest Sri Lanka activity reported in Singapore. Public Policy and Society, an island-wide seatbelt awareness program was launched, while concerns were raised about 3 national hospitals operating without permanent directors. The National Water Supply and Drainage Board announced a 10-hour water cut affecting parts of Gampaha district today. Press freedom and human rights questions have continued to be discussed internationally, including commentary in the context of Gaza. Calls for Hartils in the north and east were postponed to the 18th of August. Police have warned against disruptions while acknowledging the right to protest. Weather and environment. For today, several spells of showers are expected in western, Sabaragamuwa, Uva, and northwestern provinces and in districts including Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Ampara, Batikaloa, Gale, and Matara, with some areas likely to experience strong winds. Coverage of elephant conservation and human-elephant conflict continues. The well-known tusker Kondalama hadakaraya has died after lengthy treatment, breaking in latest. The president has ordered the temporary suspension of two Manar wind farm projects amid local concerns. Cybersecurity agencies report a spike in WhatsApp hacking and OTP scams, with SLCERT receiving at least 64 complaints so far this year. Authorities are warning the public to safeguard one-time passwords and digital accounts, and 3 national hospitals remain without permanent directors, raising questions about service delivery. Sports. In cricket, Pavan Rathnayake and Nuwanidu Fernando are likely picks for the ODI squad against Zimbabwe. Sri Lanka's under-20 rugby side has reached the semi-finals in Asian competition. At the schools level, under-14 semi-finalists Sahanza, Shishandri, Damsith, and Revan have booked final berths. On the international front, Sri Lanka has climbed to 4th in the ICC men's ODI rankings. Technology and innovations. Sri Lanka is preparing to host its first national AI Expo and conference, aimed at advancing tech transformation and supporting a $15 billion digital economy ambition. Government workshops are planned on AI for transforming public service. Cybersecurity remains a priority as WhatsApp OTP scams surge and 5 Chinese nationals were deported over suspected cyber fraud links. The government is also preparing a 5G spectrum auction targeting island-wide rollout by year-end, with the auction expected to include 3.5 GHz and 27 GHz bands. Culture and society. Asala Perahera concluded with the final Randoli Perahera. Attended by the president, the prime minister participated in the Adivel festival, and Nikini full moon Poya was observed across the island. Human interest stories this week highlighted the migration of psychiatrists from the north and east, unsold pumpkin harvests in Puttalam, and features on local artists and cultural events. International. On the global stage, Ukrainian President Zelensky has ruled out ceding Donbass, and European leaders held virtual calls with U.S. figures amid preparations for high-level diplomacy. A migrant boat capsized off Lampedusa with multiple fatalities, and developments in the Israel-Gaza conflict continue to dominate international coverage. Quick reads and editorials. Opinion pieces this week covered U.S. tariff impacts and trade diplomacy, domestic political risks related to one-party dominance, and reflections on the ex-press Pearl legal aftermath. Notable columns included commentary on rising political figures and trade issues. What to watch. Coming up, the National AI Expo and Conference in September is a push for AI adoption, Facets 2026 at Cinnamon Life in January. Continued parliamentary hearings and possible votes on no-confidence motions and procurement probes, and the 5G spectrum auction timeline with a notice expected in the coming weeks. That's your NewsDive update for Thursday, the 14th of August 2025 at 10:26 a.m. If you'd like a one-page brief of the top 6 stories, a focused summary on any single topic, or live source links for each item, let us know. Thanks for listening. That wraps up today's news. Have a pleasant day.